Alright, welcome back to video 9 of Shadowrun Returns. Might not be as long of a video considering I recorded so long prior and husband will be returning home soon, but hey, let's talk to Gino. Whoa, that's quite the image there, buddy. You eject the BTL Gino's been riding. He gasps suddenly and his eyes flutter open. He looks confused. Worse than the other chipheads you've seen. His lips are white and chapped, his eyes sunk into his head. There's vomit on his shirt and sweat on his forehead. When he speaks, his words are slurred. He's burnt. What the hell? Slotted me out. Who fraggin' slotted me out? Cody is shaking. She looks horrified. Gino, it's me. It's Carla. Gino looks at her with glazed eyes. No recognition. Slot me back in, goddammit. This is bullshit. I don't want to be here anymore. Slot me back in. He looks around the room angrily. His hand reaches for his implant. Cody grabs his wrist. Stops him. Gino, no. Cody, be careful. Gino wrenches his wrist from Cody's grasp, and he staggers back, reaching under his shirt and pulls out a gun. Cody watches him, horrified with tears in her eyes. Gino waves it around, blindly, blinking wildly. Back off. Just back the hell off. Take it easy, Gino. We're backing off. He presses his hands to the side of his head, his fingers still on the trigger, squints. What the hell is wrong with you people? We're trying to help you. This is the way you help me. Look at this place. Look at me. He looks around the squalor of the room, then glimpses his own reflection in the machinery. Oh God, look at me. There are drugs that can help you, Gino. We can go slow. He looks at Cody, looks at you. We'll go slow. He drops the gun and Paco quickly scoops it up. Cody grabs him fiercely. He slops into her arms and she rocks with him for a long time, her head buried in his shoulder. Then she looks up. She locks eyes with you, the deepest gratitude reflecting on her face. We're done here. I'm done. I don't need to step foot in one of these places ever again. Looking for trouble. Shannon's place is the best lead you've got to find out more about the Ripper, but getting back into the warehouse is going to require some support in case the direct hits the fan. The Seamstresses Union will have exactly what you need, a fixer. Finding the necessary middleman and deal broker is key to most plans involving Shadowrunners. A good fixer is worth the million. It's their job to have contacts and know who's good at what. They'll put together the team you need, magical support, skilled street samurai for muscle, or a Navajo decker for matrix work. Running the shadows is a life and death gamble. It pays to hire the best Shadowrunners you can. And it pays to get some upgrade and update, and hey, I want to look and see how much karma I have. 12. We should update that soon, but do you want to sit there and watch the boringness that is? John Bartlett. Who was... Never mind. Cherry Bomb flags you down as you walk through the door. Hey, zombie pleasure. There's a woman looking for you. Jessica something. She's waiting for you by the stage. Bellevue type. Wouldn't order anything. Won't touch anything. I think she's afraid of disease or something. Thanks, Sherry. No charge, chummer. Why is the bar so empty? We don't get much action in the early afternoon. Just a few salarymen slumming Toursville and hoping to talk to Madam Sinful. And some die-hard regulars. Madam Sinful? That's what the downtown folks call Miss Kabuto. It's a Toursville thing. They like her to have a naughty name like that. Who's around? I just got in, but I think Cody's cleaning in the back bar. Mr. Delilah is hanging out in his usual place. The vendors downstairs came in a few minutes after me. Oh, and Bartlett's here. Don't think you've met him yet. Who's Bartlett? John Bartlett. Big presence at the end of the bar. He's in the biz. Connected. You might want to meet him. Is that guy still bothering you? You mean my ex, Shane? Yeah. No. He hasn't been in since the last time. No calls or pages or handwritten notes either. Weird. He's usually so persistent. I guess he's finally got the message. Maybe he'll find someone at the Universal Brotherhood of his and settle down. I'm gonna have a look around. Have fun. Woo! It is starting to get hot in my house. Can't have the air conditioner on. It reacts with this microphone of mine. So sensitive, it picks up everything. What a good. What a Van Gras. Okay, Mr. Bartlett, let's meet you here. Wesker, that's exactly what you look like. Wesker. Full of life, with a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Definitely not Wesker. Definitely. Hey, lady, what's shaking? A little of this, a little of that. I hear that, Ome. I might have something for you. You got the new yen? Time is money. I'm listening. You ever hear of the Nephilim Network? Of course you have. An in-the-know lady like you has to have heard of the premier Merc team out there. If you say so. We're a tight unit. We cost a bit more than common rabble, but we're worth it. Alright, so he's just bragging. Chris Redfield. That's who we'll go with. I'm very busy. Show me something worth my time or you walk away. Data from the NTSB. Renrack would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I got 800 Nui and for something like that. Etiquette. There we go. I know you'll double dip on this one. Make it 1,000. As long as you keep bringing in stuff like this, sure. You change your mind? Got a juicy list of BTL clients straight from the Yakuza Syndicate lab. That's a dangerous info. I'd rather not handle it. So how about 600? It's done. Okay. Jessica Watts. Well, she don't look like some actor. Alright, let's talk to her. Well, or we're gonna talk to her. She's kind of pretty. At a glance, you can tell that Sam's sister, Jessica, is from a different world, the opposite of Sam in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes are sharp, and her style exudes authority. Miss Watts. Jessica Watts? She eyes you up and down warily. She does a good job of hiding it, but it is clear that she is well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? Zombie Pleasure, I'm looking into your brother Sam's death. I was told as much on the phone. This woman who called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead, and that I should come to this place and speak to someone about an investigation? Sam didn't die of natural causes. He was murdered. She briefly casts her eyes skyward, then gives a small shake of her head. I wish I could say it's a shock, but given the circles he ran in, Sam hadn't run the shadows in years. If you say. But even so, look at this place, these people, and you. She then furrows her brow, regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? I'm getting that a lot lately, but no. By the look on her face, she's clearly struggling with this. I'll be honest. I would just as soon put this all behind me, and the fastest way to do that is through proper channels. Surely there is an official police investigation going on. Why not let the professionals handle this? Lone Star? Professionals? Not the ones I've seen. But you must have better things to do than waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. First, Sam was my friend, and second, I'm being paid for my troubles. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? I find it hard to believe that anyone who really knew Sam would put up the money. Who is it? I'm afraid that's on a need-to-know basis. This is ridiculous. He was my brother, and you seem real shaken up by his death. Fine, I'll pay you 100 just to tell me. Done. Sam Watts. I don't understand. He set it all up before his death, as a contingency. Am I to believe that my drunken son of a brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? Her boardroom mask drops momentarily, and in a sigh she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seattle to get away from Sam and his bullshit. Now I'm back, he's dead, and I still have to deal with him. Jessica composes herself, and in a breath, the mask is back in place. Listen to me, Zombie Pleasure. You seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam was Sam, you know? I've worked so hard to put my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on. I would love nothing more than to give you closure, and quickly. I appreciate that, but I think I'd prefer just to let it be. No one needs to get hurt. Your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't walk away from this. Are we talking about the same man? My brother was worthless, Zombie Pleasure. Worthless. He used people. Never mind. I can see that you're not going to let this go, and I respect that you're honoring my brother's memory in your own way. But I hope you can understand how emotional this is for me. Yes, lots of emotional. Jessica's demeanor instantly changes from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single meditative breath. Maybe you can do things in a way that the police can't, and maybe I can help. What do you need from me? When was the last time you had spoken to Sam? It's been ages. I can't even remember. The bartender here recalls Sam complaining about arguments with his sister. There was a note on Sam's body, sounded like an apology, and offered to meet up and bury the hatchet. It was signed Jessica. I wrote many such notes in the beginning, but I haven't made such an effort in a long time now. I don't know why he would have kept it. Where were you on this night of Sam's murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraiser all evening. A very crowded fundraiser. Did Sam have any enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. I don't know of any others. You would likely know better than me these days. Were you and your brother close? I think I've made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't seem to care whether his killer faces justice. Of course I want justice. I just can't let him drag me down again. Show her the picture of her and Sam as children. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly, as if it might sting her. But the guard drops the moment she looks at you. Where did you find this? Sam's bunk. I can't believe he kept this. Maybe not such a bad guy after all. I don't know anymore. What happened between the two of you? Things were different back then. We were different. We were a family. Then, after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was always a reassuring order to our lives, but after everything got mixed up, you can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're gone. The remorse plays wet across her eyes, and it seems that she's not talking about her father. As a child who lost their father maybe 3 years ago, I can really relate with that paragraph right there. You never really understand just how important someone is to you until, you can't call them up on the phone anymore. You can't go and visit them and spend time with them. And, just a brief message to y'all watching this. Cherish your parents. I don't talk to my mom every day, but I'm thankful I still have one left. I miss my dad a lot. So just keep that in mind. What she says is very true. Jessica then stills herself to tell the rest. Sam tried to be the man of the house. He truly did, but he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon he had spent every dime of our father's life insurance. Every dime. After that was gone, my mom working 2, 3 jobs. He spent all her money too. I couldn't stand the way he abused her trust, so finally, I just had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it along with the past, and another looking to hold on to both. May I keep this? Please do. Thank you. Tell me about your mother and her death. She was a devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that she sacrificed her life for Sam and me. Sorry. moving in closer here. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her do it anymore, so I moved out. After I left, we drifted further and further apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. Where were you living before you moved back here? California? What brought you down there? It was less of what brought me there than what made me leave here. I felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. And did you? Actually, yes. When I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life, a vision from what the world could become, and I came back here to make it happen. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you, Miss Watts. Just as well. I need to go back to the office. But before I go, you should know that I'm re-entering my mother's body tomorrow. Re-interring my mother's body tomorrow. And I'm arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral is tomorrow at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament. 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. Wouldn't miss it. Goodbye, zombie pleasure. I hope you find what you're looking for. Stay safe. Ain't she pretty? Cody, Mr. Clue. Mr. Clue. Looking good as usual. Glad to see you well, zombie pleasure. And you, Mr. Clue, holding down the fort? As always, though people are more on edge than usual. Word got around about the latest Ripper killing, and people aren't feeling safe. And when people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. You notice how empty the streets are these days? That's because everyone's either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal's Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in numbers, chummer. Every time I say Universal, I keep thinking of the theme park. Not that we need numbers here. I got it covered. All I ever need was one. Later, bud. Later. Hello, Coyote. When Cody sees you, her eyes glisten with gratitude. There she is, the elf of the hour. How's Gino doing? Hard to say. He's pretty burnt, malnourished and dehydrated too. Paco's taking care of him. He's got friends who know about that kind of thing. She smiles. He's a good man, that Paco. The world looks pretty different to me now that I've got Gino back. Time to settle down, you know, with Paco. She laughs. Don't get ahead of yourself, Ome. Paco's pretty and he's been there for me when I needed him, but I don't think I'm the marrying kind. See you around, and don't forget about me if you need some backup of your own. Damn straight. I think he's going to continue our quest. Honestly, I want to go down real quick and look at the gear. Okay. Dr. Sarah Castell glances up only briefly from her charts. Her impish friend, on the other hand, tracks her every move like some sort of humanoid raptor with a mouse under its shadow. Lived to see another day, have you? That remains to be seen. Still more work to be done. So long as you end up here in the end and not on some organ grinder's table, I'm satisfied. Granted, a repeat customer means a person courting death more often than any good doctor should condone. But I don't suppose I could dissuade you from your course of action? If only life was so simple. Very well. Then let's talk about how I can help ensure you make it back alive once more. How'd you fall in with the operation anyways, Doc? Dr. Castell pauses in her work, setting down her tablet and appearing to grow introspective. I suppose you might expect that I had fallen from grace. Certainly that is the case with many of my peers. If not that, you might think that I was compelled to do this because a friend or family member became a Shadowrunner, and I hurried to their assistance one fateful night. But the reality is that I grew up knowing this is what I would do with my life. My parents were both Shadowrunners, and very successful ones at that. So successful that they retired in a very large house and raised a litter of kids who grew up hearing the impossible tales of their parents' younger years. Of course, we were expressly forbidden to follow in their footsteps. We were all expected to attend university and take full advantage of the opportunities they had fought so hard to give us. So Mom and Dad were proud to see me pursuing a medical degree. And they had only one minor reservation about me applying that expertise to the treatment of Shadowrunners. After all, they never would have survived long enough to meet and fall in love if not for the ministrations of several street dogs along the way. So I suppose you could say I was born into the life after a fashion. She picks up her tablet and resumes her work. Is there anything else I can help you with? Let's look at your medical supplies. Trauma kit. I want you. I got 9,000. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a gold trauma kit. Four for 3 rounds is actually 12 health. This one though, leave it as is. I want, we might be okay. For cyberware, I probably eventually need to look into Algernon. The elf called Algernon appears to be in a hushed but intense conversation as you approach. However, the other party of this discourse is nowhere to be seen. Turning to greet you, Algernon dismisses his invisible associates with a wave of his hand. Welcome, fellow child of the Sixth World. What can I help you with today? Tell me a bit about yourself, Algernon. My story is not so different from those who have come before. I am but a merchant, though one whose wares are as far from mundane. I come here from Targear? 4 years ago, after the governor of Seattle signed an exclusive trade agreement with the Council of Princes. And so, as the flow of magical goods came to pass at the city ports, so have I. At times, I miss the Tier, but as unlikely as it may sound, this new home of mine is far more interesting. Is there anything else I can help you with? Conjuring, shaman. That one would make a little bit more sense. See, here's the thing about this, looking at it. It takes a cooldown of 3. It takes 2 of your AP. My chick only has 2 AP. And it gives my friendly target AP plus 1 for the next 2 rounds, which is really just me taking turns. To me, that one doesn't warrant as well. Eric, marksman. What's on special for happy hour? Need a fresh set of clothes? I'll take a look. What you got? Anything new? You gonna buy this? That's actually very cool. I like that. The other one kind of makes me look pregnant. See, Mr. Gubberman. I like your face. The orc stands at attention and looks every bit like he's waiting for a commanding officer who he can crisply salute. As he appears at ease when he's cleaning the barrel of the rifle or counting out the bullets in a magazine, the rest of the time he appears as he is now. Ramrod straight, primed for anything. And how are you, my friend? Fine day to fire a weapon. What say you? Tell me a little bit about yourself, Buster. Were you military? After a fashion, yes ma'am. Sergeant in the 31st California Militia. It's no longer a recognized unit, and there are those who would say we never wore. But someone has to stand up to the tier, and it fell to us. Tier Tarndir? I am not saying that right. Yes, ma'am. It was in Calfree when the elves came marching down from the north in 36, but when the Yuccas pulled their support, we had little in the ways of an organized defense. But what we did was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Oakland. The locals in NoCal held out long enough for us to bring the heat. And I tell you, all the magic ho-ha in the world ain't enough to stop a V11 Hot Rock from cracking your dome. We drove them elves all the way back to Yurka. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland, too, but some ninny down south reached out to the Japanese for aid and got our own version of Normandy from the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Don't much like to talk about those latter days. So let's talk guns instead. Can I get you anything? Let's see what you have in stock. Weapons. We are sticking with our AK. Right? It's an assault rifle. Yes, that's what we're doing, right? No, we're with our regular machine gun. The Uzi, the most popular machine gun in the world, semi-automatic. I think I'll stick with this because I like more bullets and I care for a 1 point more damage. Trauma repair kits. I'm gonna go ahead and just buy another one. I like order to my department. That actually is pretty cool. A stem. I might have to focus on those. Alright, so we talked to you. David Fry II. Let's talk to Mr. Fry. You look like someone who needs the latest in Matrix tech. What can I get you? Let's see your inventory, because apparently he's not going to talk for us. And none of this is for me. And you ain't got a story, do you, Mr. Fry? Nope. Alright, so back upstairs we go. We got our cool outfit on. I do have to say though, the tube makes me think of a house of 1,000 corpses. Let's look into my stash here. Oh. That'll have to do. Wouldn't mind a health pack too, but we've spoken, we have bought, and we are on our way. And the spirits kind of run free, so that's a bit scary. Alright, let's talk to him and then we'll call it quits for today. If you're talking to me, there's business to transact, am I right? Of course you're right. It's your job to be right. That is correct. You're a smart lady. What can I do for you, smart lady? I need to put a crew together. You got scratch, or are you planning to pay me out on your earnings? How much is this going to cost me? Well, for your speed, hired help will run you about 1,200 a head. If you start taking on tougher jobs, well, the more experienced the runner, the higher the rates. I can pay the runners up front. Excellent. We agree on terms. I've got some runners to call if you've got any special requests. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's see them. Okay, so this is how this works. Don't need a shaman because I'm a shaman. We already got one shaman. She is free. Marska. Do I get the feeling like I don't control them or something? Where's my deckers? Let's try a decker and a rigger. Let's see what we get. Confirm. Return to the docks. You return to the docks to meet Shannon Halfsky. Although the Ripper's latest victim was her brother, but Shannon appears cool and professional, a consummate runner by birth, if not by trade. She'll get the job done, and hopefully one of the hearth spirits in the place can point you towards the Ripper. Dealing with sprites can be tricky business, and when they deliver, it's sure pure platinum. One doesn't have to be an Amerindian shaman to summon and control spirits. Anyone with magic talents can do it, but Shannon seems to have a peculiar connection to the spirit world. And as you approach the gates, you know something's not right. The dock's already strange and uncomfortable at night. Trigger the need for caution. Then you see it. The guards are missing, and the gate's been smashed in. I knew it. Doot. Alright, come on. And you hear music. Yes, we've opened my karma screen. Alright, so as the music plays in the background of my phone, I'm going to let you go here, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, take care.